So welcome in. I'm doing an astrology energy forecast for this Aquarius full moon that we have coming up on August 11th. And I wanted to give you a heads up and some guidance on what is coming, what may come. Astrology isn't like a prediction of an exact date. It's this wave of energy that we can be feeling in different ways. They can be reflected in our lives in different way, and very much dependent on our own birth charts. So this is kind of this almost like public service announcement to those of you who are interested, who want to have a really good surfboard to ride the waves of these very intense energies in this intense time that we are really heading into. My name is Christy Whistler. I am an evolutionary astrologer. I'm a healer. And I'm also a parent of 2 multi-dimensional kids. And just kind of a heads up, I am doing this solo parenting. Sean is going back into work for a couple days a week, so you might have some kid visits and kid pauses while I have to go and do the parent thing. But I am so glad that you are here, and I hope that you're doing well. This is an intense period of time, and I wanted you to know as well that I'm here for you if you need that extra support. If you would like a birth chart reading for yourself, if you're like, I'm getting tossed around and I don't understand and I need some guidance, please reach out. In fact, let me go and pop a link to my website and my birth chart readings that I offer. There you go. At least if you're on Facebook, you'll be able to see that. So yeah, I offer birth chart readings, healing. It really just kind of depends on what help you need. And also please like and share this video. It helps to get this message out there to more people to be supportive for them at this time that we're really, really moving into. All right, so with that started, let's dive in and get into this. So we have a really major transit that is happening this month. We have, in this particular one, with Uranus conjunct the North Node in Taurus, this energy is going to be with us well into February of next year. So a lot of this particular dynamic that I'm talking about is going to be with us. So what does this mean? This is a very intense and an exciting period of time that we're entering. It's both. And it's really important that we have that understanding that yes, this can very well be a very intense time for people. And it is exciting because we are going into the future. We are breaking new ground into that future. And that can be very, very challenging and very difficult. I think we can just look out at what's happening in our world and point out the challenges and the difficulties. And a lot of that too will be very much reflected on where you even live in the world. Food shortages might not be an issue for you, and yet like you might be getting hit with inflation, and your family might be really in this place of, can I afford gas for my car? Can I afford the gas and the oil to heat my family's home this coming winter? So challenging. I'm not saying it's not challenging. And it is exciting. It's both. So a lot of what I'm going to talk about here too is how we can hold both energies. So if you'd love to share, please, how have things been difficult in your life? How might these challenges be coming forward for you? Let me know in the comments below. Allow me and everyone else here in this community the opportunity to see you and to witness you and what you are going through. So you might also be wondering, like, why is this happening? Why am I feeling the way that I'm feeling? Why am I feeling like deep fears coming up around money? You could be really tapping into very ancestral legacy burdens and legacy patterns and beliefs in your life right now. And it might even feel like you can't even breathe because you're so worried. You feel so unsafe. You feel like everything that you've built is about to be just ripped out and taken from you. And the reason I'm doing this video is to help explain these energies and what is happening and why. It's not just happening to you. It's not just happening to our collective humanity. It's happening for us, even as it's hard. Again, like, let's hold both with that. All right, so we have Uranus, we have the North Node, this conjunction. Why is it such a big deal? Okay, Uranus is the planet of the future. Uranus is community. Uranus is networks. Uranus is this energy of breaking free from glass ceilings. You can think of Uranus like an elevator. Uranus doesn't just go up and down and left and right. Like, Uranus goes diagonal, it spins in circles, it goes backwards. Like, Uranus is just this energy of anything is possible in our world, and it's that breaking free, this creative tension that things are not working. It's like this divine discontent, and it gets tighter and tighter and tighter until that spring just lifts off and goes and breaks through that glass ceiling. That is Uranus. It's a revolutionary energy. It's rebellious. Again, it's also community. Now, what is the North Node? The North Node of the moon is our collective, for humanity, our future, our evolutionary direction. Okay, that is the North Node. And right now it's going through Taurus. So this is saying to us, hey, you humans, humanity, you need to slow it down. You need to discover what is your likes, what is your tastes, what do you enjoy, your rhythm, your natural biological rhythm. What is this? This is pulling out of the frying pan, out of the intensity of the manipulation, the drama of Scorpio. Scorpio is this catalyst for change, transformation energy. Scorpio is intense, and Taurus is the slowness to integrate that intensity, to take it in, to be that cow slowly eating the grass. So it is this changing up of our way and pace of doing things. What is the new future? What is that going to look like? Taurus is also resources. So how are we doing resources with each other, and exchange of these resources, exchange of money, values, value systems? This is all Taurus. And the North Node is pushing us into this direction. And with Uranus there, okay, Uranus is bringing in a change. Hey, how things are working is not actually working for the collective of humanity. We're going to change that. We are going to break it down and experiment, try something new. Okay, that is the energy of these two planets. North Node's not a planet, but you know what I mean. So that's kind of what's up those two. So we are also jumping timelines at present. And you can even see this playing out on the world stage right now. If you are aware, you can see and you can feel these reverberations from decades past that are playing out right now. I mean, even just look at what's happening within Europe and the world wars. I mean, you can even look at it here in the States, what's been playing out around reproductive rights and so forth, and freedom and choice. So, and choice of many things, not just about reproductive, okay? So it's this recycling, this stepping back into the past, and it's like this review of it. And this energy can very much feel an opportunity to heal these timelines if we so choose. So again, this is not easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but this is what's happening. This is what we are being invited into. And the choice then becomes for each of us. Will you say yes? Or will you not? Will you try and hold on tightly to the past so things don't change? Because again, it is okay if you are feeling confused. If this is scary for you, if you're feeling really uncertain, that is absolutely an accurate way to be feeling right now. Allow yourself to feel that. This isn't like, and I'll go into more of this, okay? This really is a time to build and experiment and try new things. So you don't want to get stuck in that scary and that uncertainty to the point that you don't move. This is a moving forward period. Allow yourself to feel what you feel. And then go move, go do, go create. So a little bit more about Uranus. Uranus is shocks, surprises, lightning bolts kind of hitting you. You can be having the experience right now of the rug getting ripped out from under you. And no, it's not easy to do, like to have that experience, even when you are prepared. And you have this deeper understanding of astrology, of the energies of this collective ascension process that us humans and all of Earth are going through right now. So you can have all that knowledge and it's still difficult. Uranus is the future, and the future is unknowable, which is the very thing that humans find really, really challenging. Uncertainty is very, very uncomfortable. So that's okay if that's how you're feeling. It's okay if you have those moments of feeling that way. It's totally accurate for this moment in time. And again, we're going to be with this Uranus North Node conjunction until early next year. But this is a period, okay? And it's not just hard and just hard to be hard. We are going through this accelerated ascension. We are taking quantum jumps forward into our future, our consciousness. And let me add another layer for this. So, and again, I'm adding these layers. I'm adding these different points so you can be like, oh, hey, that's really being reflected into my life, but maybe not that one. Okay, but it's just so you're aware of the energies and you have an idea of what's coming. So the nervous system is very active right now in the body. Trauma. We are a collective that has been and is still living in trauma. So you might be experiencing restlessness, sleeplessness, this experience of being triggered by something and having a completely blown out of proportion response to it. Or your body and emotions are carrying memories as if they were happening to you at this very moment, except they're not. Like it could be so deep and so real, and it's not even yours from this lifetime. This could be from lifetimes past. This could be within your direct lineage. And I'll explain a little bit more of this going forward. But for me, like the feminine has been huge this week. And very like, wow, a lot of processing, a lot of emotions and journaling of trying to understand these parts that are coming forward and wanting to be seen and acknowledged by me at this time. So what I kind of just described for you, this is a really powerful time to map your body and your responsives. So if you find yourself in any of those that I had just described, find out where it's coming from. Your soul is speaking to you through your unconscious. Your unconscious is speaking to you through your emotions, through your body, through these reactions that you are having. And it is drawing to you these exact experiences, people and situations that are within your codes. Again, whether it's past life, whether it's ancestral, this is being reflected back to you to push you so you can witness them, so you can heal, and so you can reintegrate these traumas. One system that I've been using quite a bit to support me right now is internal family systems. You can go online and find more about that. But identifying different parts of you that have been exiled, firefighters and protectors and managers who are taking care of those exiles. It's like a computer system that you've been carrying that is super out of date. It's from like the 1980s with the big blocky computers, so it can't process things really well. And so it's about this rewiring and recoding to get in there and help with those processes of your emotions and what's coming up within your soul. But for you right now, like in saying yes to this, to going on this healing journey, reintegrating these parts of ourselves, it's like when we do this, we are creating a new timeline. We are the ones saying to our ancestors and their experiences that instead of passing on this trauma, to be the generation that says, this buck stops with me. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Marie. It's so lovely to see you. How are you guys doing? How are you managing this quite a big moment in time that we're in? Yes, like this is a very empowering time to stand up in your power and your sovereignty and to say, no, these energies are stopping with me. There are many ways to get to this place, many roads and modalities that you can access to use and to support you on this healing journey. And if you don't know any and you're like, yes, that's what I need, please contact me. You can go to my website. If you want to work with me, great. Otherwise, I have other amazing practitioners I can connect you with. Dharma Stars and Dean Marston, who works with light language, are just two amazing resources that I currently use and have been life-changing for me. We, though, were really shifting into a time to be truly anchored into the earth, to be in our bodies. And as we heal, like we become these lightning rods for the whole of earth, like lightning rods of light. Of this higher vibration, of this higher frequency, we are bringing in these new timelines. And so as we're all lightning rods, then we have this interconnectivity between us, between me and what I'm bringing in, and between you and what you are bringing in, and your gifts and your callings and what is on your soul to do. That is this future that we are building. That is this ascension process that we are going through to change things and to make them better. And I'll add as well, with Uranus, it really helps to know what's coming. When you understand the themes and dynamics of Uranus, you're better able to meet Uranus where he's at instead of getting tossed around, okay? Getting thrown around by those waves, or, like you're in the Tower card in the tarot and it's just falling away and crumbling as the lightning bolts are coming in and hitting. Like that is Uranus. So know that this is coming. And how can you meet this change wherever it is needed in your life? Go do that. It's much easier to manage those energies that way. This astrology, this energy that I'm speaking of as well, this is really setting us up for the final months of the year. And so knowing this, knowing what's coming, okay, this is going to help you manage the energies just a little bit easier. No, still not going to be comfortable. Change and transformation and going into the unknown are rarely comfortable. I am speaking from experience with that. All right, let's clear some energies with that. But again, like, you're having this heads up. You're going to have this deeper layer of understanding of what's being asked of you at this moment in time and going forward. This is also why I really, really encourage everyone to get their birth chart readings done. When you have an understanding of this, when you're like, okay, this is the evolutionary direction and intention that my soul is taking me on, I can then expect something in this particular area. Could be in your 7th house, okay? You could have Uranus and the North Node going through your 7th house. What does that mean? That means relationships are going to be really up for you. Bringing in change in how you're doing relationships, how you can witness, how you can still be your own individual self and being within relationships. So, and doing it differently, experimenting, trying something new. So those could be some of the energies that you experience, depending as well on what planets and aspects and angles that you have there. But again, you will be understanding what your soul is asking of you, rather than being unconscious and that tossed around, going from one wave to the next. So yeah, like, how, I'm going to say, like, what has been coming to the surface for you in your life in these current weeks? Have you been having any of these rug getting ripped out from under you moments? Are you getting hit with lightning bolts in some way of your life? How might you be being challenged to change and to try something new? One of the ways I'm being tried to change something new is technology, and I'm just sort of like, ugh, okay, let's take one baby step at a time here. Try to meet that before I'm forced into things at really bad times, right? We are also in this energy of restlessness because Mars joined Uranus and the North Node, a very rare triple conjunction in Taurus. That hasn't happened in 2,000 years, okay? And will be in this energy specifically until the end of August about. And then on August 7th, we have Mars square to Saturn. So this is starting to really bring in this energy that we're coming into for this Aquarius full moon. Very highlighted, intense tension between Uranus, the future, Saturn, the past. New way of doing things versus the old, okay? And not comfortable energy. We've been really feeling this energy since 2020. 2020, 2021, like having this this particular square between Uranus and Saturn, it's been up for a couple years. So try and use this energy, creative energy that it is, like harness it. Where can you use this in your life? This is not a time to avoid what's unpleasant or what's challenging. Instead, ask yourself, how can I use it? How can I meet this head on to be that potter at the wheel, shaping this energy, doing it to what you desire and what you want to create, what you want to bring in for the future? That's what this energy is ready and waiting for you to use it with. Let it be like a jet fuel for you to do what is unique and different, to be a pioneer in going into new directions, exploring, to be the trailblazer that you really are, and just let it out, let it shine. Again, this is the time to break through the glass ceiling go in the direction that you want to go in. It's really like, just go break the rules. Like, this is the energy of this time that we are in. This is a rule breaking time. Go through the glass ceiling. Any rule that was put on you since you were a child, since the moment you were born, sit with that and really question it. Is this rule necessary? Or can I let this go? Am I done with that? And this is really important for you to understand and to know, like, going forward as well, as things really start to shake up. We are no longer living in the same world as our mothers and our fathers taught us that it would be. You know, that whole energy of like, oh yeah, you go to high school and you go to college, you get a really good job that can support you and you can retire, like da-da-da-da-da, right? Like that path, that doesn't exist. That world no longer exists. It's no longer relevant. This is a time to rebel, to challenge the norm, to test those rules, to discover what is real, what is not, what is natural law, and what is man-made law that isn't working. And it's in all of our different systems, structures, expectations, obligations. Like, it's all up for grabs right now. It's all there to be looked at and to shine a light. Look at that, my new technology. Thank you so much for sharing, Jennifer. You've been struggling with questioning yourself, changing old patterns, making different choices. But with that comes so much questioning and self-doubt. Here we go. Self-discovery again. That's right. And, you know, and I'll add too, a lot of that energy that you might be feeling around self-doubt, we're not coming from a world that really let us question, right? We've been in this very distorted Capricorn world, and if you didn't fit into these molds and these ways of being, then what are you going to do? And as well, like, you could be having self-doubt that's coming through that's not even fully yours. It could be yours, right? Parts are yours, and that parts could be from your like great-great-grandmother who's all like, I'm not doing enough. I'm not worthy enough. And again, like, that's when this mapping really can come into play and be supportive of what the heck is even mine. And how can I witness this? And as I witness, and like this, that's how you heal. That's how you reintegrate. But yes, this really is a big time of questioning. Oh, I'm so glad. And it's intense. Like, this energy, since I would say the first week of August in particular, has been incredibly intense and challenging. And for some of you, it's going to show up differently, just because like you've got your karma has got your check sheet of things that are coming forward for you at this exact moment. And it's like, okay, this karma ripens. Now it's time for her. Now it's time for him to really see this and have that opportunity to clear it. And then, of course, as you're clearing, you're not just doing it for yourself. You're doing it for all your ancestors. You're doing it for the generations going forward as well. And to say as well, as hard as this is, sitting in the darkness and shining a light on these really uncomfortable, icky places, right? We don't want to go there. It's not comfortable. But when you do it, don't be afraid to do it, because this is how you heal. This is how you can let those go, so you can have more ease, so you can have more peace in your whole being. So you can release the self-doubt, as Jennifer shared. You know, for me, like self-worth has been one of my biggest healing areas. Hi, Daphne. It's so good to see you. Thanks for tuning in, chatting about these big energies that's going through. This, though, it really is a time to break free of all of it. Everything that's not yours, everything that is heavy, that is uncomfortable and weighing you down, expectations, obligations that were put on you as a child that you came in with as you were born, through the quantum fields from the collective, again, ancestry as well, like, let it go. This is that time to break through. This is a time to reclaim the true depths of who we are and what has been lost that is now returning to us. And what your needs to be sovereign will be different. They're going to be different from mine, and so forth. Because your body, your rhythm, your pace, and way of being in the world that allows you to thrive on this earth will be different from mine, will be different than your next door neighbors. And everything that I'm talking about right here, okay, this is about shifting us out of this old, distorted age of Pisces that we've been in. We're all the same. We all worship the same God. You can't be different. You know, like that really constrictive energy, that energy is well around scarcity, right? To be a good person means you can't have anything. You have to give it all away. You know, that energy that I'm talking about, like we're leaving that distortion of that period behind, and we're going into Aquarius. And this really is experimentation. Trying something new and seeing what happens. So how can you honor this for you in your life right now? How can you honor and do what works for you, what makes you feel good? And what works for you, again, may not work for others. And that's okay. This is Venus wisdom. This is Taurus wisdom. And this is what we are being seen and asked to relearn and reclaim. Moon's North Node in Taurus, Uranus in Taurus as well. Again, feeling this end of this year and into next year. So it's not going away anytime soon. So you might as well get comfortable with this and ask what it is that you need to thrive, to discern what is healthy for your system. Discern, again, what is yours? What is the collective's? What's coming in from the past? This is how we take back our sovereignty, take back our energy, take back our power. This is very fast energy that we're coming into. Volatile, turbulent, eruptive, volcanic, earthquake type energy. And you may have felt this already in your life. If you're comfortable, if you'd like to be seen and witnessed by myself and others here, please leave a comment and let us support you in whatever it is that you're going through. We are here for you to hold that space. But this is a time, shocking sudden changes, huge pivot points in your life could very well be happening. Again, not comfortable, right? Very much so. I actually saw this reflected in my role as just an observer last week with Sean and one of his coworkers who was really explosive with their frustrations and actually ended up, rage quitting. I heard that term come through because this person was so emotional, felt so unseen and unheard, and so took back into their own hands, their power to forge a new future, to take a new path and a new road. And I'll be adding another dynamic to that in just a moment. But just know that these unstable geomagnetics, it's going to be continuing. We may see some massive earthquakes around the super full moon, but again, also beyond, because Uranus and Taurus is a signature for earthquakes and that kind of big disruption. And then again, we had Mars joining that pair. That energy is still in effect. Very hot energy, fiery. So we could see some wildfires at this time. It's also about purifying the land, clearing and cleansing when we see these kind of natural disasters. So try and hold space for both the tragedy and the destruction, and then also this healing and clearing that Mother Earth is going through for herself. I actually talked a bit about this when I did a channeling for when we were in Montana, just outside of Yellowstone at Earthquake Lake. So I did a channeling while I was there, and then I also did a separate video of how do you teach this to children? How do you hold space and sit with death and tragedy and mirror that for your children? So that's available on my YouTube channel if you want to check it out. And again, highly recommend knowing what house is being affected in your birth chart with these energies. If you have any planets or angles at this 18 degrees of Taurus, look at that, because that will give you a huge indication of what your soul is asking for you in this moment. And if you would like a birth chart read, you're not interested in like looking into it on your own, again, contact me and I can help you out with that. And I'm sorry, I kind of wish that I'd be like, oh yeah, and then things are going to be great, you know, it's intense, it'll get easier. We're not at that point yet. In fact, this particular energy is setting us up for the final exact square between Saturn and Uranus, which will be happening in early October. So right now, be aware of what's coming up in your life. Notice what's coming up for you, because you might find this repeated again in the fall. And again, it's this energy of how can I meet that better? How can I make these changes that my soul is bringing in and asking for me to do? Because Uranus is going to come in and Uranus isn't going to ask permission and it's not going to ask nicely. And you may expect some deep desires coming from your gut at this time, from your instincts to do something differently, to be free. That's leaving of the past behind to forge an entirely new path into the unknown. Now is the time to do it. And it doesn't necessarily have to be hard or complex, because we are in the Taurus energy. It can be very simple and easy and minimalistic. So this is a great time to go and clear the clutter, clear the drama from your life, and then see what else is waiting for you, because you've made the space for that new to come in, for what you find tasty and enjoyable, what you love, what you find beautiful. Go do that. Go put your energy into that and not the drama. Just let that go. You don't need that right now. Again, this is Venus wisdom. And this wisdom is actually breaking in this new spirituality. That yes, we do matter. And we can take care of ourselves first. And that we should. So, I would love to know, have you been feeling this week a lot coming up around the feminine energies? A lot with this healing of feminine wisdom that's coming forward, emotions, reception, listening. Oh, hello, Danielle. I'm so glad that you are here. How have you been? All right, so if you feel comfortable, why? What is coming up for you that's causing such grief to come through you? Again, if you feel comfortable, if not, it's totally okay. I absolutely understand. Yes, this week has been crazy. It has been intense. So for me, a lot around this divine feminine, a lot around women has been coming up. The matriarchy, my matrilineal line has been just super up. I woke up Sunday morning and it was like I got to sit with this and just cry. I had like a pile of tissues like this high. Okay, Daphne's sharing as well. You're feeling it. You're seeing your female family members standing up for themselves. That's wonderful. Yeah, I like that. Let's put that one there. Right? This rising up, this standing up, that's very much like this Lilith energy of coming up and rising and saying like no more. Danielle is sharing that she's feeling uncertainty about a relationship, emotional self-pity, fight, flight reactions, just flowing tears, a lot of clearing. It's good. It's so good to clear that and let it be. Just tuning in for just a moment on that one. I wouldn't be surprised, Danielle, if you've got something hitting your 7th house right now or wherever Libra is in your chart, especially around relationships. Yeah, and even, yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah, self-pity. Feeling Chiron wound in there too. Daphne's sharing, having conversations that need to be had and saying that they have just as much right to decisions and money. That's hard. Uncomfortable. Could be uncomfortable. Doesn't have to be, but it could be. Yes, clearing, trying to make sense of it all. You'll definitely want to re-listen if you want to, Danielle, but I spoke to about this is a really important time to be mapping our different parts. What's ours, what's not ours. To, like fine-tuning. These emotions are coming up. They're being asked to be seen. What is my soul telling me? What is my soul bringing to me through these experiences so I can heal? But we can't get to the healing until we get to the witnessing and that awareness. So I love that you are really sitting with it. But this is a powerful, powerful time to do that mapping. Jennifer's got a lot of masculine. Okay, so you're someone very masculine. Okay. And so, yeah, your feminine energy has been coming up, taking that wheel. Uncomfortable. I think that should almost be like the tagline of this period of time is uncomfortable. Because we are changing and we are transforming, and it's not easy. It is not all love and light. There's transformation in there too, and transformation means looking at what's hard. Oh, that's so good. I'm glad that resonates with you as well. Yes. So Daphne, I love that you brought this up. And it's hard when us as women don't stand up for ourselves. And we do it ourselves in a way that we have to stand up and have a voice. And so to start seeing again is this systems and the structures, okay, that have kept women oppressed and suppressed for a really long time. I mean, now, okay, as I mentioned earlier, the reproductive rights and choices of women is just one example. Whatever it is that you believe, it's up of the choice of, can I have babies or can I not? That's big. It's really big, because then that also then goes and affects your ability to make money and to be free. Because in our world, you need to have access to money in order to have freedom. Sorry, just lots of energy is coming through. I did open a circle before I did this for I just knew I needed to. Just as like a really quick example, like my mother, in the late 70s, they could not get a mortgage on the first house that they wanted to buy because the bank would not consider her income, because she was a childbearing age. And then my dad didn't qualify on his own. Someone else shared to me as well that her mother had to stay in a really hard, difficult relationship because her mother couldn't get her own checking account. 70s, 80s. That wasn't that long ago. So it's this energy of looking back, feeling into all down the lines. What would things be like if women were allowed to have a voice? If women were acknowledged and valued for the work that she did at home, for the caring and the raising of children. So this has been just a smidgen of some of this divine feminine energy that's been coming up for me to be looked at and seen. You know, and Kate's birthday was yesterday, so she's 10 years old now. So this 10-year cycle of being a mother and this reality that I live in and how people see me and how people treat me. Very different if I was a man. And in fact, as I said, like mentioned Sean's coworker, a lot of what ended up, a dynamic of what happened there is because she was a woman. And if she would have been a man, it would have been handled differently. Again, unconscious, like I'm not saying this was a, you know, right? But it's unconscious. It's in our systems. It's in our societal structures. And this is some of that energy. Can you guys just start feeling that rising divine feminine? It's really like, it's not rage, but it's primordial. And she's all like, no more. This Lilith energy. And yet to get to that, it's like we have to really see and witness and hold the truth of the women on all sides of the line. And of course, as well, of the masculine. Because the masculine was wounded in this patriarchy as well. So now I'm just kind of going back and catching up on comments. So yeah, Danielle, I did mention some resources that I use as well to help with mapping. So yeah, go check that out. I'm so glad that you logged on too. It's great. Right. No wonder this hurts so much. So Daphne's sharing that her mom worked just as hard and as I think you meant as a man, just as much, you know, if not more, than your stepdad. Yeah, and she inherited, she got a good bit of money. But he's in controlling of the finances. So it's kind of like not even her money, right? She inherits this money. I'm just assuming, of course, you can always correct me. She inherits this money and it's like, no, it's actually not your money. It's my money because I'm the man. And again, this can be very unconscious, right? Like she could even have parts in her systems. And I have that in my system too. And even if I was a man, I would have these parts in my systems. But it's like this part's being like, oh no, the man controls the money. You know, because that is what our society has conditioned us. And we've inherited these beliefs from society. We've inherited these beliefs from our lineages as well. I'm so glad that she was able to voice how she felt. And you're totally right, Daphne. She shouldn't have to ask permission for anything. And again, there's that allowing. So it's like what parts are holding that back? And that's not to say, oh, she is. Oh, that's so amazing. I'm so glad you were there to really support her on that and to help, right? So what I want to say here too is all you who are here with me and all who are going to be watching later, like you were the first of the generations to break this. You are breaking massive timelines and codes and creating a whole new one. So be that, like I mentioned earlier, like be this lightning rod right now of light and let us all have this interconnectivity, oh, I'm getting chills, between us to bring about these new changes. You know what? And there is blame. Yes, we do all have a part in what happens. And there's also like this, see if I can sit with this a second. There's so many wounds that many of us carry around having a voice. Because there could be past lives where we were literally killed for it. And our soul is remembering that. And I want to add too, because this ties in again to earlier what I was saying, like we are reliving timelines to heal. So you could have an experience that is it's so triggering, like you are just suddenly in tears because your soul is like, I have been there before and I have been killed for it. And so it's that intense of an emotion coming through. It's not true right now, and yet your soul is having this memory as if it is. And it's like, and we have all been the perpetrator, and we have all been the person who is the victim. So it's like we are having both roles, both parts in this. This is a very intense, dynamic time. Again, like this is being this asked to heal. Asked to heal. And I'm going to add in as well. So if you are feeling a lot of this feminine healing coming through for you, as you've been sharing as well in the comments, which I love so much, thank you. Yes, this is why I love astrology, because yes, this is the exact time for that to be coming up. Today, we have Venus in Cancer. So you guys, I've been sharing what Venus energy is this whole time. And in Cancer, so this is the most feminine. Venus is the feminine. Listening, reception, Cancer's emotions. Opposite to Pluto in Capricorn. Capricorn are these systems and rules where you are not allowed to have emotions. You just need to go to work every single day, be that cog in the wheel, put in your 9 to 5 and go home. Like that is all you are, that is all you are allowed to do. You're not allowed to have feelings, right? To really process what you're going through. Like that's not allowed. And in fact, we are going to discourage it. We're going to like just make it bad. We're going to have society have this language of like, you're just too emotional. I mean, how many of you were told that as a child? So look at all that healing, that even for something like that, you're too emotional. So what do? Oh, well, I better stuff my emotions down super, super, super deep in my body. And then maybe I'm going to go and get some autoimmune diseases because of that, because I'm having this deep self-hatred for myself that I didn't even know was there, this unconscious that I'm not worthy to have these feelings, to have emotions, that I am less than the person standing next to me, and maybe it's a man. And our Capricorn focused world is going to say, hey, you're going out there and you're accomplishing and you're being productive. I'm going to give you money for that because that is valuable. But those of you who are stay-at-home parents who are stay-at-home caregivers, babies, of the elderly, whatever it is. Like, no, no, no. You are not valuable. We're not going to pay you for that emotional job and you holding this emotional safe space and container. Does that resonate with anybody? Has that been your life experience? And now with Pluto and Capricorn, Pluto is saying, I'm here to transform that shit. We're done. Like, we are breaking down and breaking through all these old paradigms. This is transformation of that energy. We are moving out of Capricorn into Cancer. So if you are feeling this, this energy of this necessary divine feminine healing coming forward, how women have been treated for centuries, thousands of years, even until now. Just look at inequality of pay between men and women. It's still going on. It's up. It's up. And of course, as well, like, these are the rulers of the moon's nodes, and they're opposite to each other. Venus rules Taurus, the north node in Taurus. Pluto rules the north node, or the south node, in Scorpio. So powerful dynamic that we need to see and to witness and to hold space for. How are you earning your money? You know, that's Venus energy. This resonance, harmony, listening, equality. So going through this catalyst for change within ourselves, within the world, society, these structures. You may have this coming through, like Danielle just said, I'm having a real hard time with my relationships. Yes, that is up. We know, like, this catalyst of change, we can see it through our interactions with others, through relationships, through our emotional response and our emotional body. This mirror that is being held up for us right now. This invitation to go into the underworld to see what is hidden and what we do not want to see. So very deep, deep, deep feelings coming up. Fears, insecurities, past-like dynamics. Again, you might have that energy of I'm not good enough. That might be very highlighted for you. And this energy, this feminine energy, again, it's exact today on the 9th. It's going to continue and take us into the Aquarius full moon on the 11th. Which is really going to be about shining a light on these systems and structures within our communities. How can we do it differently? What needs to change? Experimentation is the name of the game. Clearing energy. And Venus, she's actually going to be in Leo at this full moon. So this is about new ways of divine creativity, self-expression, of what you love, right? How do you want to express yourself? What you find enjoyable to do? To be that big, boisterous voice and being in the middle of that stage. Which I think is wonderful, Daphne, that your mother is doing her letter this weekend, because that is absolutely just that perfect energy to go and to reclaim her, reclaim all of her and her bigness of the world. I kept saying to myself, Danielle sharing, I don't want to feel less than, and you just cried. And certain about the way your path is going. Let them come. All these tears, let them come, let them see. Oh, she did it last weekend. Okay, thank you. It's still, she was tapping into this energy and she didn't even know it with this Venus and Pluto like coming up. I really see you, Danielle. And again, really embrace that. As hard as it can be, you matter. You matter. And all the relationships in all of our lives need to be reflecting that back to us. You know, it starts with us. Like, we matter. And as we shift this inner belief that we have, it will start shifting those around us in our relationships. And it's this, can you meet me where I'm at? And if not, I can't have you in my life, because you deserve more. You do. We all do. And being uncertain right now, again, this is Uranus energy. This is totally the name of the game. This is totally what's up. Everything's changing. This is transformation. We are deconditioning and being asked to look and see and acknowledge the treasure chest that we are already seated upon. The gifts and talents, the amazing abilities you have as you and your soul, different from everyone else's. And so what is your treasure chest? What are you bringing into the world? That's what Venus in Leo is really asking us to do as she moves into Leo. Again, very, very bumpy time. It can feel like you are having 2 steps forward and 1 step back. And that is how we grow. That is how we decondition all that we are holding within us, that we and our ancestors have been traumatized by. Again, you might be feeling this energy playing out in your bodies, your nervous system. Sexuality is really big with Mars square Saturn, and this coming alive feeling. You can also be having health challenges at this time. Lack of energy or vitality, feeling stuck, limited. Saturn energy, there's that square. This lack of freedom and sovereignty, and then frustrations about these experiences. And, it's like this, that energy is going to build, okay? It's going to build and build and build until it springs forward. That's the Uranus-Saturn square energy coming in as well, okay? Something's got to give. Harness that energy however works best for you in your life, but use it. This is the energy of the full moon, which is going to be on the 11th at 19 degrees Aquarius, so you can find out where that is in your chart, which house is going to be highlighted for you. We also have a fixed grand cross happening here with this retrograde Saturn in Aquarius. What does this mean? Okay, this energy is about being the rebel. It's being the progressive, the renegade, liberation, transformation, okay? But it also requires us to do the necessary work, Saturn, to step away from society, from all these old roads that we were taught before we could even walk, that this was your path and you were meant to walk it. Okay, so we are deconditioning that and saying no to that. That's the energy of the astrology with Saturn in retrograde in Aquarius. Okay, this is like turn rules on the head kind of energy. It can be iconoclasm, so you might see that coming up. Rule breaking. This energy looks at our systems, looks at our structures, and it snorts in disgust. I mean, it's really giving it the finger of like, this is crap. I'm going to do it better. And I also want to say as well, like, this is being able to see all the infighting that is happening amongst us. Just kind of like an example, like those in welfare, hating the middle class, and the middle class hating those in welfare and blaming them, or male against female and so forth, like that energy, that fighting. And instead, this is this invitation to stop the fighting and look higher. Look at the ones that are sitting on top of all these systems and structures, where the rules don't apply to them. The people, just kind of like this energy of this old man sitting there silently at the head of the boardroom table, just watching. Just reaping all of the energy from everyone else who's doing that fighting. Those are the ones who have built these systems and structures. And this Saturn energy is telling us something has to change. That's what's being asked of us right now. To do it differently, to be bold, experiment, try new things. With this Mars energy getting added, we can have a lot of tenacity, this determination to get things done, this seeing through something to the end, okay? And you also might find there's like a digging in kind of energy as well, a really kind of control, this attempt to hold things as they are. This super full moon, which means it's closer to the Earth, is really highlighting that square between Uranus and Saturn. I've talked a lot about that, so much even in just this video alone. And it's going to be shining a light on this freedom versus control, old versus new, in our collective future destiny, because Uranus is conjunct the North Node right now. So we may also expect some brilliant new ideas to come through, downloads, new ways of how these bits and pieces of our higher mind, Uranus, fit together into our world and how we can work with them, understand them, alchemize them. Food and agriculture, the natural world can be very highlighted at this time, and I think it already is with the food shortages that are happening. And I will say as well, full moon conjunct Saturn retrograde, this energy can be very depressed energy, very introspective. It can feel like a control coming into and restricting your life. And just know as well, like there are times when it's okay to feel depressed, when it's okay to feel this heaviness. For example, if you have Saturn transiting your moon or your IC or the 4th house, which Saturn is currently transiting mine. So it's a familiar feeling to me. So just let it be what it will be. And know as well, like this may be happening now, but it's not forever. But you might have real depressed feelings coming up at this time. And if that's true, like reach out for help. Look to those who can really hold you in an emotional safe space for you. Ask them. Ask them to sit beside you in the darkness of what you're feeling. As I've been mentioning, this full moon is really highlighting this building of new systems and structures. New networks, new communities, doing it differently. And it's building for the long term. It might take us some time to build it, okay, but it's long term. That's Saturn energy, that this is sustainable and it's here to last. It may not easily get off the ground, but this still is the time to do it, to do something risky, to be different, to be out there. So really think about that. As this old world collapses, as what's not working falls away, what can you bring in? What is new and different and exciting to you? And as we move through this very intense period that's coming up, starting now and through fall time, okay, you might have this experience of things that you really believed in, things that represented a lot to you, like foundational beliefs getting smashed. Again, that's this energy that we're coming through, okay, that just getting smashed. And this full moon is really shining a light on how much that these promises and these beliefs have actually failed us. And they haven't worked for you. They haven't worked for your family and so forth. Like this is this revolutionary time. And it's again very highlighted in the astrology. Changes are coming. And we are going into the unknown. And we have no idea what we will find on the other side. And that's perfectly okay, even as it's incredibly uncomfortable, because that's what going into the unknown means. So if you're feeling this creative tension within yourself, take a risk. Take the risk. If you're like, should I do it? Should I not do it? Take it. Now is the time to do it. This energy is saying that something has got to change. It cannot stay the same, and Uranus will not let it stay the same. So be courageous right now. Take that giant leap forward and see where it takes you. Trust in the fire on your soul and the calling on your heart, and do that. Do it differently. Do it in a way that is uniquely you. Because we are all here to be these way pavers, these trailblazers. Oh, I know, Daphne, you've got that fire, girl. And not only do you have it, you are really lighting up the people in your life, the people around you, like you are being this blazing star and shining forward. And it's like almost giving others permission to do the same in their life. That's what we are all being invited and asked to do. Do it now. Go be your brilliant, shining, different self right now. And as well, like this month is really asking us to dig to the bottom of the basement, to go into the darkness, to shine a light there. You're welcome. Clearing energy. Shine a light. Shine a light in the areas and the structures and systems within ourselves, that the codes that we're carrying from our lineages, that these things that are not working, shine a light there. We have suffered trauma through our experiences of life, our past lives on this planet, our ancestors. All this energy is within us, and it's coming back into the body and into our senses so we can reintegrate these parts of ourselves, so we can heal, so we can witness and experience the full range of emotions, the good, the bad, the ugly. That is Venus. She is not just love and life. She is hell and death as well. And Taurus is the pause, this taking a break, putting your feet on the earth, and integrating the intensity and experiences of Scorpio. That is what is required to do this shift, to do this pivoting, to change directions and head into the wilderness, to some place new and exciting and different within society, our structures. But it always, always has to start with ourselves first. It has to. And if this is something that you struggle with, I don't want to say this terrifies you, because I think at some level it terrifies all of us, even as it excites us, including me. Please reach out for help. Don't look to the toxic, negative people in your life because they can't help you with this. Look to those who are willing to do this Cancer wisdom, this feminine wisdom of sitting beside you in the darkness and holding your hand. And then from there, when you're ready, take just that next small step forward. And I really want to invite you right now and going forward through this intense time, like whoever is that person in your life that is supportive, who is kind of your rock, link arms with them. Link arms with me, with this group who's gathered here and who's witnessing and sharing. Because you don't have to do it alone. You don't need to go through this intensity and this transformation alone. Oops. Where did it go? There we go. That's what I'm doing. Preparing my camper and then exploring the land, the rivers. Oh, that is so exciting. That's wonderful. Reconnect to the earth right now. Things are getting really hard and intense. Go back to the earth. Take care of your central nervous system. It's going to be important. So I really hope that was helpful. I really hope that that has been supportive. Again, I do understand that the energies are not easy. Like, I get that. You know, I'm living it just as you are. And it's a lot. It's a lot to hold. You feel that you would go alone as well. Yeah, take someone with you that first time. It's important. You know what? I didn't start going camping with the kids by myself at first. It was like the third time. And even then, it wasn't like a plan by myself. And yet it was suddenly this experience of, oh, like I actually have more power than I thought I had. And just the way opened up that I could then give myself what I needed, which was getting out of the city with my children and getting into freedom where I could finally breathe and relax and just being surrounded by nature. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. I'm so glad that you could be here. Thank you so much. You should absolutely take your grandson. So, you know, again, thank you so much for being here. If you need extra support, okay, if you want a birth chart reading done for yourself, how these energies are affecting you personally, if you are really in a rock and roll place and you need support, you're in that darkness, please reach out to me for support. You can go to my website, chrissywhistler.com. I offer astrology readings. I do healings as well as intuitive readings and channeling. Just really what it is that you need to be supported on your journey. And then, if like and share this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Chrissy Whistler, so we can get this message out there to more people who are in need of support, who are in need of this, very much this Cancer wisdom, this sitting with the emotions and in the darkness that's coming forward for so much of us at this very intense time. So again, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you all so much, and I will see you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.